Hey, sometimes, y'all, sometimes you just gotta count your blessings and hope that your blessings don't get blocked and keep good thoughts on lock. It's gonna be okay as we trudge through. Everything is gonna be out, no trouble. You are in a good zone, and we're gonna do this thing. We will never be alone. Word. Hold on, man. Let's do this over. Let's do this over because we have to do this over. We really have no choice. Let's get it popping. Yo, Daily Go Get It Business Show, y'all, man. Don't give up. It's gonna be all right, and you know it's gonna be all right. Think it won't. Everything is gonna be okay. We do it like this from back in the day. What you say now? Daily Go Get It Business Show, baby. All up in your area, and it's time to make it do what it do. It wasn't easy getting here today, man, as y'all can see. You know what I'm saying? I would have been here a lot earlier, but circumstances beyond my control, it happens sometimes. So it's going to be all right, think it won't. I said it's going to be all right, think it won't. Daily Go Get It Business Show, baby. And today, I should say, on this Saturday morning, we are talking about when you're trying harder to keep them alive than they are. When you're trying harder to keep them alive than they are. Sometimes we deal with people who are really not trying to take care of their health, man. And you know, it's a hurting thing when you see somebody, when you know somebody, when you're dealing with somebody, when you like somebody, when you love somebody, when you care about somebody seemingly a little bit more than they care about themselves. So they seem like they are doing everything in their lives to end their lives. Maybe not suicidal, but just not taking care of themselves the way you know that they should take care of themselves. You understand what I'm talking about? Underdig, we're here, baby. It's going to be okay now. So let's get it popping, man. The Daily Go Get It Business Show. Trying harder to keep them alive than they are. They ain't trying to keep themselves alive. You trying to keep them alive, baby. And you know how we say that you can't make nobody do what they don't want to do. Well, we gonna break it down right now. Daily Go Get a Business Show. It's gonna be all right. We do it like this day and the night. It's right now. Pretty good day today. You know, it seemed like we were going head first into the fall, but it's gonna be all right, man. You know what I mean? I mean, look, just like when it starts to get cold outside, really, really cold outside in wintertime. You know, winter shows up every week. Every year. Every year. I've never seen a year that didn't have a winter in it. Same thing as summertime. Summertime. But that's my time, baby. So we're talking about when you're trying harder to keep them alive than they are. Like they not doing anything to secure their health. But you running around like a chicken with your head cut off. And you trying to yell at them, scream at them, manipulate them into taking better care of themselves. But it ain't going down like that. It's going to be all right. Step up to the back. It's all right. Yes, it will. So let's get it popping. Urban Therapy with Sun 752. And this your daily. The Daily Go Get It Business Show. We do this every single day. Every day it rains. Every day it rains. And the DG will do the same. I'm your host, Sun 752, a.k.a. Omar with the rrrr. And if you can't say Omar with the rrrr, well, then you just say Omar with the R's, the Daily Go Get It Business Show. How y'all feeling, man? Listen, I know the show was supposed to start at 11, and I promised yesterday that it would, but we just couldn't get it off. You can best believe that I did everything within my power to make sure that it happened, but it just wasn't going to happen, you know? You know how it is when you're trying hard to do something that you know how to do, but you just can't get it done. Circumstances beyond your control, natural disasters, emergencies, all kinds of crazy stuff, and you just have to deal with it. Life happens. Well, you know, we have to take things as they come as life happens, but what happens when we have more control over our lives, over our health, and we fail to do so? Well, sometimes we suffer the consequences. Stress, depression, bad health. You know, there are a lot of things out here in this world that can put you in an unhealthy state. And unfortunately, we contribute to a lot of those things that make us unhealthy. And the question really becomes, well, how come? Why would anybody do that? Why would you do that? Why would I do that? Why would we do that? Why would anybody do that? Right? Well, we do it. Well, we do it, and we don't always realize that we're doing it when we're doing it, but we're doing it and we're doing it bad. And even when we get ourselves together, when we get our constitution right, and we decide that we're going to do right, we want to represent, we're going to make sure that we do everything to make sure that our loved ones are secure while we are here. Forget about when we're gone, because we're not going to live that type of lifestyle that is going to put us anywhere except for in the winner circle. Well, we may do that, but does that mean that everybody around us is going to do the same thing? No, baby. Oh, no. No, 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 no. What's going on, Shirley Show, the world's most precious and greatest pearl in the world? Shirley Show, the world's most precious and greatest pearl in the world. It's good to see you up in here. In Carol Chamber, let me favorita. Carol Chamber, let me favorita. Good to see you, ma. So we're talking about when you're fighting hard to keep fighting harder, should I say, to keep them alive than they are. So we're talking about when you are in love with somebody, or you have a loved one, or you like somebody, or you care about somebody, seemingly more than they care about themselves. Like you are really, really, you see all of the chinks in their armor. You see all of the problems that they're having. You see how bad they're struggling physically and with their health. But they seem to be willing to just let themselves wither away. Meanwhile, on the other side of the world, you are working feverishly to keep them alive. You are working to keep them alive. What y'all know? What y'all know about? What y'all know about trying to keep a diabetic from drinking too much juice, from eating too much candy? What y'all know about dealing with a diabetic that has a sugar fetish? A sugar addiction, I should say. Forget about a fetish. What y'all know about dealing with a diabetic that has a sugar addiction? And when they're around you, they try to control it. But when they're by themselves, they digging in, diving in. It's like they at the Willy Wonka chocolate factory, What y'all know about that? What y'all know about trying to make sure that you do their food shopping for them so that they won't buy all of the wrong things? Because you know that even though they know that their sugar level is out of control, even though they know that they're already on insulin, even though they know that if they keep messing around, they're going to lose a limb, they're going to lose a leg, they're going to lose their sight. It's not going to be a good look for them. They know it too. But they don't act like they know it. Every time you deal with them, every time you talk to them, they talking about like, look, no, I've been eating right. I've been exercising. I've been doing the right thing. I'm getting everything under control. But when you're not around, what are they buying? They buying cakes. They buying cookies. They buying pies. They drinking juice. They eating candy. And they know they can't do that. They know they can't do it. But they have that sugar addiction. And the sugar addiction seems to be overriding their ability to keep themselves healthy. So it may have been a situation where you've had to rush them to the hospital a couple of times. It may have been a situation where they didn't eat one day or didn't eat the right things one day. So, you know how diabetics get all janky and crazy when their sugar level is low, hallucinating, getting all like real irritable. Sometimes they have seizures and shit. That's a serious situation dealing with a diabetic, especially when the diabetic don't seem to want to do right. Maybe deep down in their heart and their soul, they want to do right, but they ain't been doing right, and you haven't been able to influence them to really, really get it together. Shirley Show, the world's most precious and greatest pearl in the world, says, LOL, I am a diabetic, and there were many times when I controlled myself, and there were many times when I fucked around and things and ate things like I didn't care. It's a natural thing to do. That's the crazy part. Emily Dunlap in the house. Emily. What's going on, MEM? Good to see me, some you. Thanks for coming on through. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry I'm so late. Y'all probably got here at 11 o'clock. I had to change the time from 11 o'clock to 11:30 because I thought that should be enough time, but it wasn't. It wasn't. But it's okay. I'm glad y'all, hung in there, whatever. We're going to get through it. So sure, you know what I'm talking about. So through your own behavior, you know what I'm saying? If you were trying to take care of somebody else that was in the same predicament or the same health condition, you know how frustrating it can be. Because being as though you work in the healthcare profession, you know what it's like to deal with people who are really, really desperately and gravely ill, or teetering right there on the tightrope of being gravely ill. But you also know that all they have to do is twist this, turn that, and tweak that, and they would be on the road to recovery. They would be in a very, very good spot. But you also know that they haven't been doing that. And it doesn't even seem like they want to do it. Sometimes people get on their stubborn shit like, well, you got to die of something anyway, so I'm going to eat what I want to eat. I'm going to live my life the way I want to live it. God takes you up out of here, not diabetes. What? Sometimes we say shit like that because we get frustrated or angry at our own condition. Have you ever gotten sick and you was mad at the sickness? You was mad at the world, mad at yourself, mad at everything, mad at God because you were sick. Well, dealing with somebody else that's in that same predicament is not easy. When they mad at themselves because they sick, they pissed off at the world because they are in this state, this condition. And it's a tough condition to be in. So that's what we're talking about this morning. When you are fighting harder to keep them alive than they are, you're trying to keep them alive. You're trying to keep them safe. You're trying to keep them healthy, but they ain't doing it. They ain't doing it. So we got mad examples. And most of them are related to their health, to people's health. Now, sometimes people think that health has everything to do with whether you are sick or not. There are plenty of people out here who would swear that they are healthy just because they're not sick. And there's some people who don't think that sick is anything else other than having a cold or a flu. Like there aren't other conditions in this world that are more serious than having a cold or flu. This COVID era has done a lot. If it hasn't gotten its point across with anything dealing with the general public, we have all had to come to grips with our mortality during this pandemic. We've all had to come to grips with our mortality because we know so many people who got sick. Some of us know people who got really, really sick. And some of us know people who died, who got sick and died. So we know that it's nothing to play with. It ain't nothing to play with. But the media have us thinking that COVID-19 is the only thing to get nowadays. Or that only the things that aggravate, that COVID-19 will aggravate, are the things you need to be concerned about. You can still get a bad cold. You can still get the flu. It's not always COVID. But we know that if you have diabetes, if you're diabetic, COVID is going to wreak havoc on your ass. It really puts you in a bad position. We know that if you have asthma, we know that COVID is going to wreak havoc on you. We know that if you have any type of cardiovascular conditions, or even if you're overweight, it's telling you that if you're overweight, then COVID is really going to fuck you up. Now, there aren't too many people out here that I know that don't qualify as being overweight if you are talking about like the body mass index. Damn near everybody is overweight when you look at it that way. So now I'm just saying all of that to say that COVID-19 is still not the only thing that you can get out here that could really, really have an adverse effect on your health. There are plenty of things out here that can mess your health up really, really bad. COVID is one thing, and it's a serious thing, but it's not the only thing, and it's not the last thing, and it's not just the thing that we should take seriously. But when you're dealing with somebody else that doesn't want to look at it that way. So speaking of COVID-19, so maybe you're dealing with somebody who is a Trump supporter, so they don't believe that they should wear masks. Maybe they don't even believe that the COVID-19 thing exists. I know some people who say that it doesn't even exist. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Yeah. Like, nah, that shit is all a hoax. Even with what they've learned recently about, you know, Donald Trump knowing about it, about the virus and keeping it in the tuck. And even with him getting it himself. So there are people out here that are in grave denial of how serious this thing is. So maybe you're dealing with somebody who has really, really bad health conditions, really, really bad health issues. Maybe they are elderly, overweight, diabetic, and have a heart condition. You know, do y'all know anybody out here who has kidney issues? Like, I know people who have to go to dialysis. You get COVID-19 and you have to go to dialysis. Yo, I mean, you are fucked. Pretty much. Because ain't nobody going to want to be around you to treat you for the dialysis. So there's a lot to consider out here. So you dealing with somebody who's on the list for a kidney transplant, let's say, and they don't want to wear masks. They don't want to social distance. They still want to go out, be among, yo, man, yo. And you trying to tell them like, nah, man, no, don't do this, don't do that. And the more you tell them what not to do, it seems like that's the more that they do. You're trying harder to keep them alive than they are. You're trying harder to keep them alive than they are. Surely, the world's most precious and greatest pearl in the world says, my dad died on the dialysis table. He took the right road to recovery, but went down too many wrong paths. Things we do when no one else is around. First of all, I'm sorry that you lost your father. And without me knowing all of the specifics about that, I can imagine that he was probably a loved man, and people probably tried to advise him in certain areas. But we don't always listen, and we don't always get people to listen to what we are talking about or what we're saying. You know, there's a lot to being grown, and everything that goes along with being grown from an attitude standpoint ain't always good. Sometimes being grown is a big problem. You know why? Because when you're grown, can't nobody tell you what to do. Can't nobody make you do nothing necessarily. At least when you're a child, you get forced to follow the rules. Yeah, you got to follow the rules. You got to do what somebody else say. You got to listen. You got to pay attention. You got to be there. Because you don't control your own destiny. Think about it. When we're full-grown adults, we'll tell you in a heartbeat. I ain't got to do nothing you say. And we won't. Nope. I ain't doing it. I ain't going there. I won't be there. You can't make me. Silly shit. We get on that passive aggressive shit. Like, yep, I'll be there. Yep. People who overeat. You might know somebody that's 400, 500 pounds, big as a house. And it's funny because just like I said, big as a house, you know, we're so politically correct out here. Nobody gets called fat without hurting their feelings, no matter how fat they are. It's like such a derogatory term. You can't call nobody fat. You can't call nobody ugly. You can't call nobody F-A-G-G-O-T. You can't call nobody nothing without somebody basically straightening you out. But you also can't lay down the law or aggressively try to help somebody either. And that's not good. See, we don't talk a lot about that part. You know, we don't talk a lot about the fact that we don't always get a chance to help somebody and give them the real help that they need. We don't always get a chance to do that. You know, circumstances beyond our control dictate how we're able to speak to each other. When they took dodgeball out of school, we knew it was going to be a problem, right? Put dodgeball back in school. Put dodgeball back in school and put the rope back in school too. You got to climb that motherfucker. Put the rope back in gym. Put gym back in school. Some of these schools out here, some of these charter schools ain't got no real gym. They don't. When we grew up, schools were real schools. They had all of the things that a school is supposed to have, you know, like classrooms, not former offices and boardrooms. You know, these weren't storefront schools. They were real schools. So they had classrooms. They had a gymnasium. They had a field. They had sports teams with uniforms. And they had music class with instruments that you could rent during the time you signed out your instrument. During the time that you were in that school year, you took it home, you practiced, you came to school, you practiced after school, you learned how to play this shit. If you were good, you sat in the front. If you sucked, you sat in the back. But certain things were in place that aren't in place now. I'm not trying to diss charter schools, but the emphasis is so much on academics, and academics don't seem to be getting us nowhere out here in this world. You still got to learn how to do something. So anyway, I'm saying all that to say this. You dealing with somebody that overeats. They already 400, 500 pounds. You can't call them fat. So we be, you know, going around, hey, big girl, hey, big boy. That motherfucker breathe like. He's fucked up. Shout out to everybody who ain't 400 or 500 pounds who breathe like. Because it happens. It can happen. Anybody can have cardiovascular issues. But what I'm saying is, you're dealing with them and they eat. That's all they do. I talked about what was I talking about the other night? I was talking about people having a whole sheet cake under their fucking bed. Now I wasn't playing about that shit. This shit's real, man. Some of us are trifling out here, man. You know, but what I'm talking about is when you're trying to keep somebody alive that act like they don't want to be alive. They don't want to eat right. They drinking too much. I ain't even getting to the whole drinking part. I'm trying to put that on the back burner because we always talking about, you know, motherfuckers that drink too much and motherfuckers that use drugs. There are other shit. There's a lot of shit out here that can kill you. And when you dealing with somebody that seems hell bent on trying to touch heaven, look, can we get a little heaven on earth? Damn, son. What's going on in beauty? I cannot see. Cherry is all up in the house. A Cinderella, Dana Dane. Well, it's the woman Dana Dane with fame. How you feeling, Dana Dane? Good to see me, some you. And she says, the truth hurts. Sure, husband says, cracking the hell up. I love those little scooters in the gym and my flute. That's right, the flute. We had all kinds of instruments at each school. Flutes, tuba. I had a fucking tuba. Trombone, trumpet, drums. You know what? I don't remember seeing a guitar, but you know we had the piano. There were a variety of instruments. The school choir and the school band used to be really good almost at every school you went to. I went to Pickett. The band at Pickett was very good. Shout out to Miss Eubanks. Shout out to Miss Eubanks, the teacher, the music teacher at Pickett Middle School. What was the name of the dude though? He was good as shit on the trombone. You know, I remember I was in 5th grade, and what was his name? He was a brown skin cat. But I remember it was 1980. It was like 80, 81. And his big thing was the trombone solo on I'm Coming Out by Diana Ross. I didn't think that song was all of that. Until he pointed out, he was like, listen to this trombone solo. Yo, this shit, I was like, yo, and he could play it. He was a trombone player, and he played the shit out of that. I wish I could play it now. When y'all get a chance, go listen to the trombone solo. The beginning of I'm Coming Out. I want the world to know. Got to let it show. You listen to that trombone solo, you're like, yo, he killed this shit. I don't even care about the rest of the song. That damn that shit, and he heard that shit. He was like, yo, this thing. Yo, shit is all that. But anyway, you dealing with somebody that's overweight and they don't want to stop eating. They don't want to stop binge eating because they might be mad overweight and they might be diabetic too. They might have all kinds of problems. Like I said, they can't breathe. The beauty I cannot see. Cherry says, a big boy just tried to talk to me at the state store. I thought he was my age. I asked him how old he was. He was 30. We can make you look older. Weight can make, what you mean? Weight can make you look older. I never thought of it. I never really thought of it like that. Weight can make you look older. Something to take into consideration. I really never looked at it that way. But yeah. You know, you're dealing with somebody that is dangerously overweight, morbidly obese. I really don't like that term, morbidly obese. Okay, but it is what it is. You think it ain't when it is. You think it don't when it is. All right. But either way you slice it, it's a very serious situation. It's a very serious situation. So when you are in love with somebody or you just love them or you just care about them, or you are in charge of them. They are in your care. You take care of them. And it's like they gonna fuck themselves up no matter what you say, no matter what you do. Cheryl says trombones, clarinet, and more. Shout out to Mr. Lorenzo. What school did you go to? What middle school did you go to, Cheryl? What elementary school or middle? Let's say middle school. What middle school did you go to? Let me know. You too, Dana Dane. What middle school did y'all go to? Let's see if we cross paths somewhere. Like I went to a different school every 2 years. I ain't gonna front. But they were all on the Germantown side, like until I went to high school, that is. Until I went to high school, that is. Good looking out on liking and sharing the show. Yeah, make sure the rest of y'all, make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure that y'all share the show. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. And you can call into the show. If your heart's desire, you can call into the show, totally uncensored show. You can talk about, you can say it the way you mean it. You can, in the way that you feel it, the way that you deal it. And the number to call is area code 319-527-6199. That's the number to call. I said a 319-527-6199. Swim. I said I wasn't swimming today. Fuck you mean? Yo, we got to get to this shore. This water is too deep for us to stand up in. Well, nope. So you gotta swim. You gotta rescue this person that can swim because they don't want to swim. Sounds ridiculous, right? Okay. Yeah, it sounds ridiculous. Well, it also sounds ridiculous to snort a half ball of Coke. That sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? But guess what? I know people who snorted a half 8 ball of Coke. Do you know how much an eighth of a key is in Coke? That's a lot of powder. An eighth of a key? A kilo is 2.2 pounds. A kilogram is 2 pounds and 2 ounces. So an eighth, you sniffed it. Yo, it's a big bag of Coke. Your heart can't take that shit. We wondering how the fuck you afforded it. It's a lot of money. Last laughs, he who. Last laughs, he who. Oh, like he who laughs last. He who laughs last best, right? What's going on, last laughs? And he or she, I'm not sure if you're a male or a female, but since your icon is kind of pinkish, I'm gonna assume that you're a woman. But I'm just assuming. You can straighten me out at any time. Please do. I have been watching this show in the background. I was told this show was about positivity in the Black community. And it is. But we don't talk about strictly Black things every day. We talk about all things from a Black perspective. So, hang out. We also tell jokes. We have fun. This is not a show where every day you're going to be like, oh, yeah, we're about to overthrow the government. You know what I mean? I'm tired of these white people out here. I'm tired of these Black people out here that don't want to represent. No, we mix it all in. This is a regular show from a Black perspective. See, I'm Black, and everybody who listens to this show is Black. And sometimes white people come through, but they don't really hang out that much because they see like, oh, yeah, this is a Black show. So this show today is about when you love somebody or are in love with somebody or you care for somebody and they don't want to take care of their health. So we're talking about how frustrating it can be dealing with somebody in that situation because it is very frustrating. You're trying to keep somebody right. You're trying to make sure that they're okay. You're trying to get them to eat right. You're trying to get them to stop using drugs, alcohol. You're trying to, at least not on an excessive level. Like these weed smokers out here, you can't tell them shit. Ever since weed smokers found out that it has some medicinal qualities about it, now weed smokers, nope. Here I am taking care of my health. Roll another blunt. Like, what are you talking about? Recreational weed does not cure anything. It doesn't treat anything. Like, yes, it do. It'll be making me hungry. It treats starvation. Like, did you eat the weed? You went to Ducky Elementary and you went to Gillespie. You went to Gillespie? You went to in Overbrook? You went to Brook? You know, you wrote Overtook. You went to Brook? How you go to Brook? Cool. Okay. So Carol Chamberlain says, it's true that being overweight can age you. I have an associate who I thought was much older than me, but she's like 5 years younger. Wow. I never looked at it that way. That's crazy. I never looked at like how being overweight can make you look older. Now y'all got me thinking. Now y'all got me thinking. I don't know if it's true. I leave it up to you. And Dana, you went to Ada Lewis? Oh, you are Mount Airy girl. Oh, you're Mount Airy. Well, you could have been at Germantown. You could have been in West Oak Lane. Definitely could have been. You went to Ada Lewis. Wow. Okay. Oh, you lived in Germantown. Whew. But you went to AB Day. You went to AB Day. All right. AB Day. Everybody I know, well, I ain't gonna say everybody, but most people I know who lived in West Oak Lane went to AB Day. Okay. Went to Brook for you went to Brook for a music scholarship. I didn't know the band was in Brook was all that. I didn't know that. Karen Chamberlain says, excuses. I just want to be high. I mean, yeah. That's like these weed smokers are out of control. You can't tell them shit. Puff, 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 puff. And you know, the weed of today has a much higher THC level than the shit that we were smoking back in the day. So, you know, be a little recreational weed. Normally, people who smoke weed, like straight potheads, that's not the only unhealthy thing that they do. You know, it's not normally okay. But if you're talking about trying to keep somebody else alive, trying to keep somebody alive more than they're trying to keep themselves alive, you have people out here who engage in reckless sexual behavior. You know somebody who's a straight up hoe. And straight up, you know what I mean? You know that they don't practice safe sex. And you know that they out there. And you're like, oh my God. Maybe they're young, maybe they're older and never got themselves together. But you know for a fact that they ain't playing right out there. Now, how you can be out here and ignore those warning signs is beyond me. But you know what happens? You know what happens? You know, we made it through the AIDS era. And even though there's still no definitive cure for AIDS, it seems like we've gotten it under control. Oh, last laughs, you're a male. Okay, I got you, my brother. I got you. You know what I mean? I got you. Okay. Carol Chamberlain says, excuses like I'm preventing glaucoma by smoking weed. Like you ain't got no glaucoma. Yeah, you preventing it because you ain't never had it. You just have a problem seeing the light. That's your problem. You can't see the light. Or should I say that's their problem. They can't see the light. But it really is frustrating. It really is frustrating, dealing with a diabetic that wants to eat sugar all the time, dealing with a morbidly obese person that wants to eat all the time, dealing with somebody who already has an alcohol problem, and they turning up crazy. They just throwing it back. When I had an alcohol problem, like I said, I only drank on the weekends. That didn't excuse me from having an alcohol problem, because I still gotten in a lot of trouble. 3 DUIs, 3. You know what? If I wasn't me, if I wasn't as lucky as I am, because I am lucky in that regard, I don't have the kind of luck that I wish I had. But if I wasn't lucky in the way that I am, 3 DUIs, I'd have had to do about a year in jail straight. As it turned out, I basically had no effects from that shit, besides not having my license for 9 straight years. 9 straight years. Not a regular driver's license. That shit's crazy. And I ain't nobody to blame but myself. And while I was drinking, I thought, I got this shit under control. Like, if I was a real alcoholic, I wouldn't drink only on the weekends. I would drink every day. And that may be true. But they're alcoholics who come in different forms. And evidently I was a weekend alcoholic, because I would get busy. Like, if this was 2010 instead of 2020, if this was 2011 instead of 2010, I mean, if this was 2011 instead of 2020, if this was 2012, now y'all know I stopped drinking on December 8th, 2012. So if this was October 10th, 2012, I would still be glassy-eyed right now, because I turned up all crazy the night before and probably wouldn't remember that much of what happened the night before. But like I said, 3 DUIs. That's real shit. 3. I don't know nobody else that got that many. Sure, I never got in no accidents, none of that shit. I can color it any way I want to color it now that I'm over it. But during the time, I thought I had it in control or whatever. And there were people who were worried about me. I'll tell y'all one time. It was I want to say it was Father's Day. I think it was Father's Day. So there's an Outback Steakhouse out on Ridge Pike. When you going out towards Norristown. You know how Henry Avenue turns into Ridge Pike, and Ridge Pike turns into Main Street going to Norristown, where there's an Outback Steakhouse out there that me and my family used to go to. So it was Father's Day. So on this Father's Day, I was so fucking toe up. I went to my mom, my stepdad, may he rest in peace, and probably my sister or whatever. We went out there because it was Father's Day. They was going to treat me and my stepdad, the dinner and all of that. So I drove out there by myself. I was drunk as shit. And this was in the afternoon. It might have been like 3, 4 in the afternoon or whatever. And I was fucked up because I wouldn't eat before I drunk. I used to drink first and then eat later. I ain't want nothing to fuck up how drunk I was going to get. So I go out to the Outback Steakhouse, and I was so drunk. I think I was at the table, passed out at the table. Like, my mom was like, what the fuck? It was like she had to come to grips with the reality of how I was drinking. Now, around that time, it was a lot of other crazy shit going on. This was 2007. This was 2007. I was so drunk that the waiter made note of it. Like, yo, y'all gonna control, you know, y'all people right there. I don't even remember what I was doing, but I must have been tripping. I might have been in and out of consciousness. Well, I don't know. I might have been bugging out because I used to black out. I don't know what the fuck I was doing, but I know that I drove myself there and drove myself home. I ate. They made sure I ate and all of that shit. And they was like, "Oh, you." I was like, "Nah, I'm cool." By the time we ate and all of that, and I figured I was smoothed out. So the next day, this is the first time that I had to face my mom, and I was actually embarrassed about myself. I was embarrassed, like. Because I had to explain. I went over a crib the next day, like, all right, well, the reason that I was like that was because of this, that, and the third, whatever. I gave her some excuse or whatever. And the excuse at the time, it was a lot going on, but there was no excuse for that. There was no excuse for that behavior. There was no excuse to be out there like that. And you know, it was embarrassing to them. Now, my peoples love the shit out of me, so they held me down like, nah, we got him. Everything cool. You just make sure you get the food over here, and you know what I'm saying, everything will be all right. That's how they answered it. Like, fuck you talking about? So, but I know from that point on, I had already lit the fuse. From that point on, I knew that there was no turning back. Because I knew they felt like I was in trouble. And I was. Because it was that year. Actually, the year before I got the DUI. I got the DUI actually in 2005 and got convicted of it in 2006. Then I caught another one in 2007 and another one in 2009 that I wouldn't get convicted for until 2010. That was how the whole thing went on. But I showed my ass in 2007, and shit was never really the same. So I know that my peoples was real worried about me because I was out of control. I was reckless. What's going on, T. Carey? Right? How you feeling? How you doing? It's good to see me. Some you. Thanks for coming on through. And is that Annette Davis, the number one? It's good to see you too. Annette Davis, the number one. Annette Davis, the number one. But the reason I'm telling y'all about that is because they got a bird's eye view of where I was going with this drinking thing. And I didn't stop for another 5 years plus. Who's to say I was going to make it another 5 years? So it's like by the grace of God, it was like, yeah. So, you know, trying hard to keep somebody alive harder than they're trying to keep themselves alive. To them, I probably looked like I was trying to leave up out of here because it was the way things were going. It was going to end tragically. The way things were going, it was going to end tragically. Y'all know what I'm talking about? So you may be dealing with somebody in your life right now that you're in the same type of situation with. They know better and they could do a lot better, but no. Carol Chamberlain says, man, I was with my oldest brother this week in Walmart checkout line, and this ninja trying to buy 2 Butterfingers. Stop, you diabetic man. 2 Butterfingers, huh? Nobody better lay a finger on my Butterfinger, huh? Yeah. Be passed out at the damn Walmart, son. You'll be passed out. Yo, you ate a Butterfinger. You ain't gonna make it, son. Yo, it's A1C. Wait, was it A and C? What? A1C? Y'all know what I'm talking about. You diabetic. No. A1C. 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 Y'all know what I'm talking about. Some people put their emotions above their own lives. They be like, if he or she don't love me back, I'm going to kill myself. Now that's a whole different situation. I don't even want to touch that. Because then, you know, I mean, that's different. I know what you're saying. We have done a show on it before, and we'll probably do another one on it. That's, you know, when people be threatening suicide over some emotional shit, that's different. Because the only way that you can keep them alive is to stay with them, which is killing you emotionally, you know, that kind of thing. Yeah, no. You know, I know, we know. Shirley says, happy belated anniversary to getting the alcohol out of your body. No, the anniversary is December 8th. You got time. You got time. My brother from another mother, Norris Hill. I said my brother from another mother, Norris Hill. What's going on, my brother? Good to see me some you. That's my word. Thanks for coming on through. Beauty, I cannot see. Cherry says, Happy Hollow introduced me to wine coolers. Up in that killer ass playground, Happy Hollow, huh? Happy Hollow Playground. The most dangerous playground in Germantown. I swear, man. I never understand the mentality of them Happy Hollow niggas, man. To this day. I ain't understand it. You know what I mean? Back in the day at USA Skates. The Hollow. I was like, what these motherfuckers? I grew up with these cats. I still don't recognize them. Like, when did y'all become so tough? The Hollow. Most dangerous playground. It look innocent. But you get behind that gate, you may never come up out of it. Maybe you should go behind there and up to Fern Hill. Go up to Fern Hill playground where it's safe. Stay out of the Hollow. Dana know what I'm talking about. Stay out of the Hollow. Go up that hill, up in the little grassy area or whatever, you know, up the hill, you know, and you'll come out on Logan Street. No. You'll come out on Morris Street. No, Pulaski. You'll come out on Pulaski. Yeah, you'll come out on Pulaski and, you know, walk up the street. Take Logan Street. And Clap here. No, Clap here. Anyway, go to Fern Hill. Don't go to the Hollow. Stay away. Stay out of the Hollow. That's still bad. Jeffrey Hawkins said, what's up, Jeffrey Hawkins? What's going on? How you feeling? Thanks for coming through. Appreciate it. Appreciate it mucho. But yeah. Trying hard to keep them alive. Trying hard to keep them straight. They ain't trying to hear that shit. So for those of y'all who are coming late, we were talking about when you're dealing with somebody who was on coke. Well, this is what we were talking about earlier. Somebody sniffed the eighth. I know I can't be the only one on this show right now who knew somebody who tried to sniff an eighth of coke. An eighth of a key of coke. A one. A two. God damn. Nigga, you ain't Al Pacino and Scarface. Fuck you think this is? You think I'm a bellboy? Yo, man, chill. You trying hard to keep them alive. Trying harder to keep them alive than they are. They seem like they willing to die. I mean, and it don't even have to be somebody who indulges in food or substance abuse. You might know somebody that's just, they might be a reckless driver. You know somebody that drives too fast? I ain't gonna lie. I like to drive 100 miles per hour, but I do it when it's safe. I'm not gonna be whipping in and out of traffic. Some of y'all know people who drive motorcycles, who ride motorcycles, and they reckless. wheeling in on a damn expressway, showing off, hot dogging it. And you know, a lot of motorcycle riders do not know they are allergic. They drive like they're allergic to traffic, so they will ride on the shoulder or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You know, in and out because they can maneuver their bike in and out of traffic better than a car can. But they might really do it all fast because they think that they Evel Knievel on a damn motorcycle. And you just know, like one day, this is not going to be good. Because it's one thing, it's bad enough that they weave in and out of traffic when there really is a lot of traffic. It's another thing that when they are on open road, you know they're going to try to put, if their bike says that it can go up to 180 or 200, they're going to make sure that the bike does at 180, 200. Like, you know, there's no saving yourself at that rate of speed. There's no saving yourself. Let them tell it though. No, you know, if you you got to know how to fall, just like when you're doing martial arts. If you know how to fall a certain type, motherfucker at 200 miles per hour, it's over. It's you and the Lord. Hug, kiss. Thank you, God. There's no other option. Give God a kiss on the cheek. You tried to give God a kiss on the cheek. God straight French kiss your ass. You said, God was like, yeah. Like, damn, God. Yeah, you going to get this work. You going to get this work. Peace, Jeff. Narso says, imagine already being at the bottom already, but losing a loved one and doing a swan dive through the trap door. Listen, man, that depression is, you know, the depression shit is next level. Next level. When you have to physically be there in order to try to keep somebody from physically taking their own lives, that's next level. I don't even want to fuck with that right now. Like, that's next level. My plan for today was just to talk about people's little habits, their little ways. You know what I mean? Their little habits and ways. And then David says, my second child father turned out to be a straight crackhead. It was definitely too much work trying to keep it together with him because he didn't want to help himself. So I had to let that go. His choice in drugs over her is why he has issues today. One of the big problems with cocaine is that most people who have ever indulged really, really like it. Even when they don't do it anymore. It's like, I had to stop doing it because it was ruining my life. I ain't do it because I ain't like it no more. Shit was all that. And when you come to the crossroads in your life, when you know that you have to make a change, like there's nothing I can do. I can't go on the path that I've been. There's no option for that. I can't do it. Even if I wanted to, I couldn't. It's over. It's over. But when you're trying hard to keep somebody alive, trying harder to keep somebody alive than they're trying, that's an uphill battle that you may not be really ready for. But because of your love, because of your care, because of your concern for somebody, you're going to stick it out with them. You're going to, you know, go to bat for them. You're going to help them out. But how about this one, yo? You know somebody that won't leave the streets alone. They won't leave the streets alone. That's where they get their money at. You tried this, you tried that, you tried hard to keep them out of them goddamn streets. But they want to be a hustler. They want to be a dope boy. and they're young. They don't seem to understand that there are only two ways out of the dope game, which is jail or death. You in the grave, or you in the jail, or both. They don't want to look at it that way. So you might have a son or a daughter or a cousin or maybe even your man, and you can't keep them out of the street. So they going back and forth to jail, and you feel like they're safer when they're in jail because you figure like, well, at least in jail, I know where they are. At least in jail, I know they're not dealing with no slime ball connect or selling to somebody that they don't know, or getting robbed, or putting themselves in a situation where they're going to get robbed and murdered. Never taking into account that in jail, you could get flipped at the mouth with somebody and have your life ended right then and there. But we look at it like, listen, we have, just like this election coming up, we have to take the lesser of two evils, right? Okay. Well, at least if he is in jail, he actually has people there that can protect him. Last Laugh says, people that talk reckless. People who talk reckless. So you're saying people who talk so reckless to others that they are offensive to people. And, you know, people say that sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Well, I haven't heard anything in this world that hurts more than words. I haven't experienced a pain in my life. And believe me, I've experienced some pain. I haven't experienced a pain in my life that was worse than the memory of the way that somebody made me feel by the things that they said at some tender, vulnerable point in my life. I don't know nobody who was ever called ugly by anybody and forgot the person who said it to him. And that's just being called ugly. But if you call somebody ugly, you can best believe that you will be etched in their memory forever. There's nobody who forgets anybody who makes them feel that way by calling them that name. And like I said, and that's just ugly. Now, somebody, now you you call them ugly, add in stupid, add in worthless. Add in fat. Add in undesirable. Ain't nobody gonna want you. You got 5 kids. You got 5 kids and you fat and you ain't nobody gonna want you, bitch. Ain't nobody gonna want you. Shit, this is the place to be for you. I ain't worried about you going out there and getting nobody. They might fuck you or let you suck their dick, but they ain't gonna be with you. You got too big of a package coming in. There have been men who made women feel that way. And you know how women can get reckless with their mouth. But when you talking like that to people that you know is one thing. Talking like that out there in the streets like you big and bad, or like you really got it going on like that, or like you have the green light to do that. Yeah. 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 And you know, a lot of times it's the people who can't fight that always say the fighting words. You say fighting words, but you can't fight. You say a lot of fighting words, but you can't fight, dog. Fighting, that ain't for you. Talking, that's for you. One of these days, somebody is not going to like something that you say to them, and they going to make you regret it really bad. You know, the last words you heard were, fuck you. What the fuck you just say? You ever notice that most people who have that said to them don't normally repeat it? Like, what the fuck did you just say? I can't remember. It fails me. My memory fails me. I don't know what I said. Whatever it was something nice. Whatever I said, it was something nice. It sure wasn't no nothing that'll make you reach in your pocket to get whatever it is that you have in there in the form of a weapon. Nope, it wasn't that. No. So yeah, man, you know, and you can't tell people who got a mouth, you can't tell them shit. Because first of all, one of the reasons that they have such a mouth on them is because they've gotten away with it for so long. Nobody has shut their mouth for them. And that David says that hurts more when it's someone who claims that they love you. He says, you tend to remember the pain more than you remember the pleasure. Yeah, because they may not have really given you any pleasure, but they'll give out their pain. People make excuses for inflicting emotional pain on people. Like, well, I'm just trying to get them to do right. Well, I'm just trying to. There are other ways, much better ways to get somebody to do right. Much, much better. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, getting back to what we was talking about, like dealing with somebody that's out there in them streets selling drugs. You know how that ends, yo. Y'all know how that ends. You know how it ends. But you couldn't tell them shit. You may not have been able to tell them shit because they really believe that they know the streets better than everybody else. So let me get this straight. Everybody else out there in the world has failed at this. But you are going to be the one. You are going to be the dope boy that shows everybody else how to do this, son. You are going to revolutionize drug dealing. Yo, you're going to revolutionize drug dealing. Ain't no dope boy like you. You're going to be the first dope boy to retire. Like, yo, I'm going to be the OG of all OGs. I've been out on the corner since I was 17, and I ain't going to leave the corner till I'm 73. Like, damn. So you passed regular retirement age, huh? You don't say. You don't say, big boy. Well. Make sure that y'all hit that like button, man. Make sure that y'all subscribe to the channel. Make sure that y'all share the show. Appreciate it. My big sis, Robin Ming is all up in the place. My big sis, Robin. Hey, what's going on, ma? It's good to see me, son. You was going on, ma. I'm so proud that you came through with your hypnotic twat. The hypnotic twat. Hypnotic. Those who watched the show yesterday know what I'm talking about. I'm not dissing her. But shit is real out here, y'all. Shit is very real. It's very real. You know, somebody out there in them streets. Somebody reckless, sexually reckless. You know what I mean? Drive too fast, too crazy. Basically playing with fire. How about this? How many of y'all have dealt with somebody who was dealing with somebody who you thought was going to kill them? Whether it was domestic violence or whatever. But for some reason, they would not stop their association with somebody. Because that's a tough one too. Because you're trying to kill two birds with one theory. Like maybe you have a sister or aunt or your mom or whatever that is fucking around with a man that you know is too dangerous for them. Whether they put their hands on them or not, you know that they are going to be hurt from their dealings with this person. It's not a good look. Or you could be dealing with a man. You could be dealing with a man that's dealing with a woman that you know is going to get him into nothing but trouble. Like, yo, every time he deal with this chick, or ever since he been dealing with this chick, it's been nothing but drama. I've dealt with people that I really felt were going to die by their hands. Like, yo, you going to kill that motherfucker one day. She's going to kill him one day. Like, you can see it. Like, we may see this shit on the ID channel one day. It's not a good look. It's not a good look. It's not a good look. The hypnotic. It was Junie who robbed the store. No, it wasn't you. I gotta go back and listen to the show from last night. That shit was crazy. Carol, you seen it? It's a bad look. Like, yo, I know they're gonna get fucked up behind them. Like, they're gonna either get them locked up, or they're gonna kill them, or get them killed by somebody else. And when that winds up happening, no bueno, no bueno, no. No. All right, yo, this is what we're gonna do. We're about to do these birthday shout outs. But before we do, while y'all still here, I want to put y'all on with the show that we're gonna have tomorrow. Tomorrow on the Daily Go Get. On the Urban Therapy with Sun show tomorrow. Tomorrow it will really be at 11 o'clock. I promise, Scouts Honor. Tomorrow we're gonna be talking about being law-abiding and tax-paying. What are the benefits of being law-abiding and tax-paying? Law-abiding and tax-paying. All of y'all are pretty much law-abiding citizens, and you're tax-paying citizens. But does that seem to get you as far as the law-breaking citizens? And the people who don't pay any taxes at all? Well, we're going to talk about it tomorrow. Talk about it tomorrow morning. 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 Talk about it tomorrow morning on the Urban Therapy with Sun show. 11 o'clock. Yeah, same place, same time, yo. All right, my daughter dated a guy. He didn't hit her, but my mom since told me he was dangerous. Yeah, you can see it. And a lot of times when you see through people like that, you're really only seeing what you've seen before. You've seen it somewhere before. You just may not be able to put your finger on it. All right, y'all. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious October 10th, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special because they are special because they are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They are number one out the box. Love, Pray, Peace Project. Turning 38 years old today. Love, Pray, Peace Project. And also Tanya Banks turning 56 years old today. And Luz Bernardino. Happy birthday to you. And Lucy Manjori turning 34 years old today. And Marhenia Tucson Smith turning 50 years old today. I said she's a 1970 baby. Yeah, with the blonde and the triple crazy. That's my word. 1970 babies all day, baby. Enjoy your half-century time, baby. And Insidibi Ibanga, happy birthday to you. And Natalia Perez, turning 44 years old today. She got bow, 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 bow. Natalia Perez and Vumani Linyama, happy birthday to you. And Maddie Thompson, happy birthday to you. And Chad Williams, happy birthday to you. And my man, comedian Harley Brunson, turning 55 years old today. Happy birthday to you. And Maria Graves, turning 57 years old today. And last but not least, James Cook. I want to say happy birthday to all of you and anyone else out there who shares this birthday on this glorious October 10th, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud, just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock on and do the damn, the rock out, rock on and do the damn, rock out, rock on and do the damn thing and do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings and do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind, and anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, you man, listen, man. Trying to keep somebody alive that doesn't seem to want to be alive, or maybe they want to be alive, but they don't want to do any of the things, take any of the steps in order to keep themselves alive. You think that's not going to be frustrating to you, man? That's going to mess you up bad. It's going to have you running around like a chicken with your head cut off, all frustrated, pissed off, mad, and rewinding that tape like a bad song that you don't want to hear again, but you get somebody to keep playing it. You stuck in the car with somebody that's playing a fucked up song, and you got to hear it at high volume, time after time. But keep banging, keep plugging away. One thing that I've noticed, one thing that I've had to learn, one thing that I've had to accept, that repetition builds memory. Repetition builds memory. So although the student may not be ready to learn today, they will remember the teacher that tried to teach it to them first when they are prepared. I said, it's going to be y'all right. Make sure that it's going to be y'all right. Do your thing. All right, y'all. Make sure y'all listen to the Legacy of a Nation show tonight, man. The Legacy of a Nation show. And we're going to be talking about, were we the first to receive affirmative action? Were we the first to receive affirmative action? Affirmative action. That's a word that you don't hear all the time now. Y'all can listen to the Legacy of a Nation show today at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the Legacy of a Nation show, you call in 319-527-6199, 319-527-6199, 319-527-6199, 319-527-6199, 319-527-6199. So check it out. You can bet your last money is going to be a stone cold gas. Honey. All right, y'all. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Y'all have a great day. Ride out the rest of y'all Saturday and have fun doing it. And be safe. It's still COVID-19 out there. We still in this pandemic. And it ain't over till it's over. So be careful. So Blog Talk, I'm going to holler back at y'all. Peace.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio.
Peace to my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death. Resuscitate y'all. Love y'all right back to life. And I get back. Peace.